Rob.
Hi.
It's now been 6 to 8 weeks since you came over to Dublin, and we were just chatting earlier. Apparently, your boss told you had to be there. So, what was your expectations before you arrived in the room, into the conference centre?
Well, as you can probably predict, I thought this was another training course that I needed to go on to learn more about Agile and DevOps. So it's probably fair to say I was pretty skeptical that I was going to be preached at some of the stuff I already knew.
Right.
That was my initial take.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always nice to go to Dublin. It's always nice to go get out of the office.
Mm-hmm. So you're sitting down the back, I recall, and you had a cup of coffee in your hand. You were getting settled in. How long did that last then?
Well, as I realise now, it was deliberately short, right? I'd gone there expecting to be presented at for about 30 minutes, and then we'll probably do some role play and stick some stickies everywhere and sort of practice doing DevOps. Mm-hmm. But within 4 minutes, we were all up and we were all moving around and we were all talking to each other and actually doing some work.
So within the sim, there's actually 3 iterations, as you now know, each of which is 25 minutes in duration. And we think that a minute equates to about a week in the real world, if you like. So at the end of that first 25 minutes, did that first iteration feel like 25 weeks worth?
It actually did. Right, because towards the end of that, we were all pretty frustrated. We knew what we had to get out the door. We knew the clock was ticking. Mm-hmm. But the software products that we were developing, and that's something people will find out in the sim, is actually pretty real. We were pushing that out way too slowly. And I would say the overlying or underlying emotion would be frustration at that point.
Okay, so if we jump towards the final iteration, there's a number of things that we've done in between iteration 1 and iteration 3. But where were you coming out at the end of that third iteration? What were the things that you most noticed? Yeah,
well, I think throughout the course of the whole event, it was pretty apparent that our roles were morphing, right? And it became natural actually for us to do more than just the siloed role we were assigned.
Yeah.
So our communication improved, and that was the biggest thing I think that affected the ability to get more stuff out the door. Right? Our testers and our developers and our release coordinators all actually got to the point where they were pushing things out quicker at a higher quality. And credit to the sim for that. We were getting a lot of information to deliver faster and quicker and more efficiently. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we were taking on more responsibility.
Okay. And we have eliminated a lot of manual tasks. Were you surprised the way we were able to sort of simulate automation?
I was very surprised. There were no tools involved, and coming from a background where I want to do that kind of thing, we could still simulate that activity. The roles of certain functions could be automated because we had the information already up front. So the trainers were really very useful at making this a lot closer to real life.
And finally, in a word, what was the experience?
Fun.
Thank you, Rob.